I literally can't be asked with any of these exams anymore. The great lock-in, which I said was going to happen, it's not happening. I literally don't give a shit about these exams anymore. They literally don't define me. They literally don't define anything. The first year literally doesn't even determine what gets put on my degree. So literally nothing will change. The only thing I miss out on is if I don't get a first, I don't go to the fancy dinner that people like get a first go to. But I don't give a shit. I've been to enough dinners. Everyone there's gonna be really pretentious. If I do manage to get that, I'm gonna feel like an imposter because I only ended up doing a week's worth of studying. So I'd be the odd one out there. Abandoning this ambition of mine doesn't even matter because it wasn't even my dream to begin with. The only reason why I wanted to do this was I thought it would make my parents happy, but they don't matter here. So, because my grades literally don't matter, if I were to lock in, it'd be a waste of my ability to lock in. Like, literally less than a week time, I would want to spend it on something else. How did I come to the realization that these exams are a complete waste of time? Well, they're not exactly a complete waste of time. I do need to pass to move on to the next year. But the first exam, I moderately locked in for. I did every past paper, I think. But I'm not sure if that was enough because I didn't know everything. I answered every question. I could have got a first. I'm not guaranteed a first, but I was in the territory of a first. So this is where it gets really annoying. Like if I know for sure I was nowhere near a first, I can properly chill out because then there's no way I'm going to average a first, so there's no point trying for the other ones. But because I probably got a first here, I probably need to get a first in all the other ones because there's still a chance to get a first. But I've made the active choice. It ain't fucking worth it. So when I was in that exam hall, after I finished all the questions or after I finished each question, I looked around a bit, let my brain rested a bit, and I realised this is peak NPC. Why have I devoted my whole life for the last week or so into becoming an NPC? Like, something about the giant hall, 600 people, all stationary, all completely silent, the air, you can hear everything because no one's talking. That just really permeates my skull. Makes me feel deeply uncomfortable. So anyways, that was the first exam. That was on the Wednesday. I had exams on the Thursday and the Friday. But after that first exam, because I made the decision that this was all completely pointless, between the exam on Wednesday and the exam on Friday, I probably did a cumulative total of 10 minutes of revision. Now, granted, I did already practice some of these papers a lot, so these were the three I'm most confident in. But the 10 minutes really goes to show how much my mindset changed. Like, on Monday and the Tuesday, I probably spent 6 hours each day working. That's because that was before I did the exam. As soon as I went in the exam, as soon as I did one exam, it just became clear there's no point. The fact that all of this is so pointless is invisible to you before you actually sit the exam. So that's why I was all worried. That's why I was actually studying initially. Now, the next three exams, they might be a bit trickier because I don't actually know the content. I'm going to have to learn the day before. And for the one I have tomorrow, the day before is today. But because I'm recording this at night, I'm probably going to throw in the towel and work on it in the morning. Luckily, tomorrow's exam was the first one they put at 2:30 in the afternoon. All the other ones at 9:30. So, if I was really devious, I could just sleep in tomorrow. But I'm not going to do that. I need to do at least one more paper. One more paper should be enough. Because after doing a paper, I realised this isn't that hard. Even though I've never seen the content before, I don't know what the equations means. But they're all pretty plug and play. Me doing these last three exams with the experience of having to learn the content immediately before the exam is going to be useful for me because it allows me to know that I haven't lost my ability to wing things. And that is truly the most useful skill there is, the ability to wing things. Because you're not going to pre-prepare for anything or everything in life. So you're not going to make it very far in life if you don't have a very strong ability to wing things. My calculator, the good old Casio, the one I've had for at least 8 years, since at least year 7, it's dying. I was using it for some stats thing, and the screen was all of a sudden really dim, and then I pointed the calculator towards the sun and it brightened up again. Now, I'm kind of stupid. I thought two-way power meant there's 2 ways to charge it. You can swap the battery or you can just point the thing at the sun. Turns out the solar panel doesn't charge it. It merely gives the calculator itself power. So once the battery dies, you can't use the calculator in the dark. And the exam hall is probably fucking dark, so I'm gonna have to use the newer shitter calculator, you know, the one with the circle buttons. Ironically, the only math paper I'm allowed to use a calculator is the one I have tomorrow. So it's really rather symbolic that the calculator dies as soon as I need to use it. The only time I need to use it. But anyways, the calculator dying is a great metaphor for my will to study for these things. Also dying. Oh, about the exam hall being dark, that reminds me. The sun. Me, during exam season, having to study for this shit, I missed out on the sun. And you might be saying, oh, why don't you just study in the sun? I'm a doofus, and I've got a gaming laptop. I can't just use it anywhere, because I'll only be outside for like 2 hours. And that's not long enough to do a proper study session. You need to build the momentum, so you got to be there for at least like 4 hours, right? But when you put your hands up and say, oh, I don't give a shit about these exams anymore, let me just prioritize enjoying myself, you can go outside. Like yesterday, I think it was, I went to the gym. It was really busy. I couldn't deal with this anymore. They were blasting music so loudly, and there were so many people there that you couldn't even use any machine you wanted to. So I decided I was going to use my rings for the first time in like a month. Now, the tree I go to is miles away, so it's not the most time-efficient thing to trek there. But I don't need to be time-efficient anymore because these exams don't fucking matter to me anymore. I got to have some vitamin D for once, and that probably does more to make me happy than any doom scroll does. Which brings me very nicely on to the next thing I want to say. The week where I was actually locked in, it wasn't a complete waste of time. I did gain something very valuable from it. Doom scrolling is fun again. Now, this is because it feels novel. I'm going to say something that's really going to move the needle here. It's really outstanding knowledge here. Things that are novel are fun. So if something's not fun, if you take a break from it for a while, and then you do it again, it's going to be fun again. So in that 3-day period where I only studied for 10 minutes, you bet your ass my screen time was like 10 hours. But I don't regret a second of it. Because the second and third paper, they weren't that bad. So I would have just wasted my time if I actually studied for them, because the way these papers are, I don't know how they do this. I don't know what kind of voodoo magic they're pulling. It's always the things you don't study that appear on the paper. So unless you literally study everything, studying is probably a waste of time, at least for me. Because I already have like a breadth of knowledge for those modules at least, because those are the ones I either A, went to lectures, no I didn't, that was a fucking lie, or I did a little bit of studying already, so I had the breadth of knowledge. But the very specific things which you think you can skip out on, those are the things that are on the exam, and for both exams. Oh, another thing that happened for all my exams so far, there was fucking errors in the exams. How the fuck do you write the exams incorrectly? Like, one of the questions, I actually answered it as if it was written correctly. And then an hour and a half in, they're like, oh, there's a mistake in the paper, please can you change it? I don't want to change it, I've already written an answer. So they robbed me of like 10 minutes because I had to do the question again. Like, how the fuck do you realise there's something wrong with the question paper an hour and a half into the exam? Like, presumably the invigilators aren't the ones spotting these mistakes. So someone, like, comes down, tells them there's something wrong with the paper, but for some reason they take their sweet time just to watch us suffer. But anyways, if the people organising these exams don't give a shit, why should I give a shit? It's very demoralising. Anyways, back to the topic of novelty and doom scrolling. This is some crazy amount of min-maxing here. But I've realised, if I just doom scroll during exam season, by the end of exam season, doom scrolling won't be novel anymore. So, I'll be bored of it. So when I jump on the new thing, the thing I actually want to do, I'll get into that in a second, I won't be so hooked on doom scrolling, touch wood, and I can actually focus on that. If I was purely focused on exams for the whole 2 weeks, I'd be burnt out. I'd probably doom scroll for like 48 hours straight. Not best for the health either. I could be health maxing right now, but I'm really not. But I do plan on sleeping earlier now. Like, the two things that stop me from sleeping are studying and doom scrolling. I've got rid of studying, so now I just need to keep the doom scrolling in check. Now, the thing I wanted to do, and the reason why I came to the realization that I wanted to do this, was I was so fed up with these exams, and it was only like the second exam. This was on the Thursday. I just immediately did it, and this just consumed me for the next 5 hours. This is going to be extremely ironic, considering who I am. It's essentially a note-taking app. I'm making a note-taking app. It has some unique features. I'm not going to elaborate, but like, this is just very ironic because I haven't taken a note the whole year. But maybe if the note-taking app is something that I built from scratch, with an asterisk because AI coding agents are doing most of it, but every aspect of its design and how it works, it was designed by me, I will actually use it because I know how to use it. I'm a bit dumb. The reason why I don't take notes is I don't know how to use these note-taking apps. There's way too many buttons, and the free ones have fucking ads and finite storage, so there's literally no fucking point in using them. But yeah, I ain't doing any market research. I just know this is right because the minute I thought of the idea, I just had to hop on, open Cursor, get the plan mode running, get him actually making it. Oh, it actually looks pretty good. Bing, bang, boom, 5 hours gone. That's the Thursday. On the Friday, after the exam I have in the morning, bing, bang, boom, implemented more features, another 5 hours gone. If you instinctually commit that kind of time, you just know without knowing how to articulate it. You just know that this is right. And once the exams are finished, I could just work on this the whole time. Life will be swell. Anyways, this rant, discussion, whatever the fuck this was, it was fun. It was a little slow at the start, but I got in the groove. Hope you enjoyed it. You better subscribe. If you made it this far in the video, I know you fucking enjoyed it. There's no way you would have made it this far if you didn't enjoy yourself here. So, be considerate. Subscribe. Have a nice day. Peace out.